rounds under amateur mixed martial arts rules in the featherweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, tonight making his in-cage debut, representing Frank's gym, please welcome Alessandro Padrino Ruggeri. His opponent standing across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. He enters the cage with a record of 1 victory, 1 defeat, representing Hammer. Please welcome Michael Walters. Your referee in charge of the action, Mr. Mick Clement.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to FCC 21. Steve Cook-Abbott here alongside the voice of UK MMA, Brad Wharton, as we present 24 fights tonight, some amateur contests and some pro later on. In the cage right now, in the red, white, and green trunks, Alessandro Ruggeri making his debut, taking on Michael Walters out of Hammer.
Walters in the blue. Immediately apparent who the height, reach, and length advantage goes to in this one, Steve. And let's see if Walters can bring that to bear over 3 3-minute rounds in the FCC featherweight division.
Salute with both guys at the moment, just getting a feel for each other. Straight away, we can see Walters utilizing that length he's got on his opponent.
Oh, beautiful stuff from Walters. He went down low twice with the inside leg kick, staring at his opponent's feet, and then switched it up with the high kick, and that really gave Ruggeri something to think about.
It did, absolutely, although it didn't cause his expression to change, even in the slightest. This kid can take a shot.
We've seen Michael Walters before here on FCC. In fact, both of his previous contests have taken place in the FCC cage. A quick TKO loss in his debut against Matt Rodriguez, followed that up with a win against David Adams at FCC 20, last time out, back in the cage now just a few months later, looking to keep that run of form going.
Absolutely, and again, he's happy to stay on the outside and engage from distance at the moment. Oh, a nice combination.
Good work there from Walters.
Which causes Ruggeri to fight down on that gum shield and maybe throw caution to the wind for a moment there.
And that could be exactly what Walters, the more clean, precise striker, wants. He wants his opponent to get wild, he wants him to take risk, and he's going to take advantage of the fact.
It started to mark up just underneath the right eye of Ruggeri, has Walters now. And again, a steady, patient pace and nice combination.
Great stuff, and we really are noticing from Walters that the strikes are coming in abundance.
They are, however, Alessandro answers with that low kick and then throws the kitchen sink behind that shot.
They're based in the UK at the moment, I believe, but originally from Italy is Ruggeri, bringing a bit of international flavor to this opening contest here at FCC 21.
And he hasn't quite solved the problem of the distance yet, of the timing of the distance and the range.
Now he needs to get that head moving, he needs to bob, weave, try and slip the jab of Walters, but Walters really throwing such a wide variety of strikes. It's difficult for Ruggeri to know whether he has to slip, whether he has to dip, whether he has to dodge or block.
Yeah, it's good. Great technique from Walters, not just using one single shot, but throwing them in bunches of 3s, 4s, and 5s.
Of course, no previous footage of Ruggeri existed, but I'm sure once they got a look at their man at the weigh-ins yesterday, they knew what the game plan would be. Oh, jumping, spinning back kick from Walters. Ruggeri ties up, but ends up with his back on the cage, and an interesting first round of action there, Steve.
Absolutely. I mean, I think Michael Walters set the pace and set the tone for that entire round, but there's a lot of fight in Ruggeri and a bit of power in those hands.
Absolutely. Momentarily distracted there by one of our lovely ring girls. Sorry, what were we talking about?
I was trying to keep you abreast of what was going on in the fight.
Well, we've made a real ass of this, haven't we, Steve?
You got to be guessing the corner of Walters at the moment, telling him, 1, to ignore the distraction of the ring girl, and 2, to keep doing what you're doing. Keep working behind that length and that jab. He's landing combinations.
It's not just the jab that's coming out, though, Steve. It's the push kicks, the high kicks on both sides. I actually saw him chain a 1-2 left high kick, right high kick. How's the man supposed to predict where these shots are coming from? Well, that's the problem that Ruggeri's going to have to solve here in the second round. does, as you mentioned in the first round, Steve, have that power to sling that fastball and perhaps catch Walters on the counter.
I think he certainly does have to get inside and do his work from there, because on the outside range, Walters is utilizing that reach incredibly well. And no real wasted movement from Walters at the moment. Very composed.
Almost karate-like style of striking from Walters. I know we've got Connor Hignett in the corner of Walters, and he has a pretty strong karate background, a great striker himself. Perhaps that's something that they've been working on over at Hammer, that in and out, combination heavy style.
He does. Once he commits to a combination, it is punches and kicks and bunches, and again, just beats him there with the left.
This is the problem that Ruggeri has to solve. Every time he wants to punch Walters, he has to move forward first. Walters does not have to move forward first. That leaves Ruggeri open to the counter.
Yeah, and right now, Ruggeri, punches coming in from wide angles. He's not putting anything straight down the middle. Now, I'm guessing that's because he just can't get inside. But it does mean that he can be countered.
Oh, Florian, that was very nearly an illegal kick. And we see referee Mick Clements there just warning Michael Walters on that one. Not intentional, but the combination was being thrown. But had that landed, that would have been an illegal blow, of course. Anything more than 2 points of contact with the ground is illegal under the Unified Amateur rules.
Yeah, there was no intention, but definitely would have broken those rules. Again, Walter seems really happy to stay busy behind that jab and those combinations and control the tempo of this fight.
Nice body shot there from Ruggeri.
And maybe that's the key to get inside and wear the big man down on the inside, work the body a little bit.
Doesn't have a whole lot of time to play with, though, with these three-minute rounds, and Walters looks to be in great shape. Still got a lot of sting on the shots, though, does Alessandro Ruggeri.
Yeah, I mean, he just buried his chin down and tucked up the guard and walked in there. And again,
more positive action there. He's moving his head, getting on the inside, then trying to throw that one big hook.
And he's willing to eat a couple in order to make that exchange.
Well, it'll have to be with an opponent that tall. There's simply no other way around it. Unless you've got some Muhammad Ali level head movement, you're going to have to take one or two on the chin, and that's the curse of the shorter fighter in these contests.
Well, now in clinch range, though, we'll see if Ruggeri can turn his back off the cage, force the taller man. Time is not on his side, though.
First round ended up against the cage, as will the second.
Oh,
looking
nice
at a punch
separation.
on the break is Walters, and a very, very promising end to the round from Walters. That's got to be 2 on the board now for the man from Hammer, Steve.
Yeah, you would have thought so. Again, fighting a very, very intelligent fight. Very smart. You still with me?
Yeah, I'm still with you.
But he's doing everything right, and he's not rushing. He's not willing to put himself in a bad spot. And perhaps in his one loss, maybe there was a bit of rush in the performance. Today, Walters is taking his time and setting the beat and the tempo to this fight.
Absolutely, and it has to be said, Steve, this is a learning process for all these guys. I'm sure both men in the cage have probably gone to sleep at night dreaming of being a world champion or a UFC champion, and this is where the journey starts. It's not all about wins and losses at this stage. It's about getting the cage time in, finding out your weaknesses, finding out your flaws, shoring them up, and both guys taking some good advice from the corners between the second and third frames. Let's see who wants it more.
Absolutely.
Because you get the impression, Steve, that Ruggeri could well still finish this one with a well-placed overhand right.
That's right. He still got plenty of zip in his punches. He needs to set the tone. He can't let Walters set the rhythm and the pace of this one. To steal from the bad guy, this is a dance and only one guy can lead. And right now, Walters is leading this dance.
I don't know what the background is of the Italian, but quite surprised that we've not seen a double leg takedown attempted in this fight so far. Although from watching his style on the field, it does look like he's more of a boxer than anything else.
Again, just having to walk in the range and take those shots.
Oh, axe kicks attempt there from Walters.
And again, Walters, it's a very composed performance from this young man. Third amateur fight, third time in the cage. Again, happy to eat that leg kick in order to land a couple of shots of his own, and now working the midsection with those knees. Body lock now.
Yeah, you know, he's landed some good output on his opponent. He's not got reckless at any point. Perhaps happy to get the cage time in.
Absolutely. I mean, his pace hasn't slowed particularly. His cardio looks good. Looks like, certainly looks like there's more in the gas tank.
Yeah, Walters looking like he could easily go a 4th and 5th round here, were this a championship fight.
Absolutely. They both trade knees from inside the clinch, but it's Walters now, oh, with the outside trip. Very nice.
Straight into side control, looking to step over.
Yeah, into the half, but he's rooted there nice and proper. So Alessandro rolls, gives up his back.
Yeah, unwise, and perhaps now that's why we haven't seen the takedown attempt from the Italian fighter thus far. Really made some very, very rookie mistakes there in that scramble. Nonetheless, has come out on top. You've got to believe that Walters is going to be looking for a triangle here.
Yes.
Oh, immediately throws up, and there's no defense whatsoever.
Very nice, and then it's a mounted triangle, and now he's raining down the punches.
Referee going to be taking a close look at this one. Rolling through into the mounted triangle again. He's not going to give it the squeeze. He's going to go for a TKO stoppage here. McClement's looking at this one very closely.
That's the Rick. No quit at Alessandro Ruggeri at all, though. This kid's willing to fight through the positions and ends up in half guard.
That was all power over technique.
Heart and will.
But he's going to last the fight. He's going to see out the round.
Absolutely. Now it's last 10 seconds. Oh, holding on to the cage there, and another takedown with authority to put the stamp on it from Michael Walters.
And that almost certainly would have been a point deducted had Walters not got the takedown immediately after and the round not ended.
Absolutely.
Steve, for me, that's a fantastic performance from Michael Walters. I'm sure Alessandro Ruggeri will have a lot to take away from this one as well. A lot to work on in the gym on Monday, but for Michael Walters, for the first time in his amateur career, he moves his record into the positive, you would have to believe, and he's going to have a whole lot of good stuff to take away from this fight.
Absolutely. A mature performance, used his physical advantages, and as you say, most probably has walked away with a clear-cut decision win to move 2-1. Well, let's turn it over to the voice of the Vale, Mr. Jonathan Millard, for the result.
Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for both fighters this evening. Well, ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. They scored the bouts 30-27 with unanimous decision. Your winner in the red corner, Michael Walters. And show your appreciation, please, for his opponent, Alessandro Padrino Ruggeri.